Hey guys, this is a special episode we did with Jason Hood of All Pro Dad. All Pro Dad is hosting an event on Saturday, November 4th at Nissan Stadium from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Jason talks to us about the organization, the event and what to expect at it, and all the resources his company offers for dads. When you get tickets, make sure to use the code NASHVILLEDADS, which is all one word, to get $15 off your ticket. We hope you enjoy the episode. All right, guys, this is a special episode of the Nashville Dads. This is actually our first remote episode. So you're the first non-Nashville dad to be on the episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Welcome, Jason Hood, to the podcast.
Love it. Thank you guys for having me. We really appreciate it down here in Tampa, Florida. Trying to get some fall weather, but it's not working.
Yes. So the reason why you're on the podcast is because you're doing a dad event in Nashville. So therefore, even though you aren't technically a Nashville dad, you're doing something for Nashville dads. So
That's right.
If you wanted to take an opportunity to talk about All Pro Dad and what all you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the event is for Nashville dads, and it's at the Titans Stadium, November 4th, 9 to 12. It's only $25 for family, and it's really an opportunity for dads and kids to come to the stadium, have fun together, create some lifelong memories. At All Pro Dad, we really are passionate about helping dads be the best dads that they can be. And so we really do that through these stadium events, through what's called our chapter program, which we have some chapters right there in Nashville. And then through 1 minute a day is our play of the day emails that come out 5 days a week and really help dads, like I said, be the best dads that they can be.
And I'm pretty sure you guys gave us a promo code in which you can get like $15 off. I'm pretty sure if like when you're checking out, you put in Nashville Dads, it'll take $15 off the cost. So
that's right. And it's only $25.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap.
So it's a pretty fun family event. And it doesn't matter how many people are in your family. It's that price per family. Put that code in, get the $15 off. And it's a pretty cheap and really, really memorable event for you and the kids.
Nashville has an MLS team now, Nashville SC. And during the World Cup this past year, they did whenever the men were in it or men's team was in it, you actually got to walk onto the field and watch the men's game or men's team play Netherlands from the field.
That's killer.
And I know one of the things for your event is you get to actually walk onto the field of Nissan Stadium.
That's
and
right.
Just look up and like the ability to walk onto a professional sports team field. I don't know. I think it's pretty special. I think it's pretty fun.
I did this a long time ago. I did this, which I actually got down on my knees and kind of looked at it from a kid's perspective, and it just looks massive. It's so cool for the kids to be able to come into an event like that and know that the professional players stand where they're standing, and they get to run around. It just creates some unbelievable memories for the kids and for the dads too. So it's just a really cool, very inexpensive opportunity for dads to connect with their kids. Yeah, it's a great day.
And isn't like I think you also have like the Titans general manager and the place kicker who old place kicker now, Ryan Suckup, will be there, right?
That's correct. They will be there. They will be sharing some practical fatherhood tips that they've learned over the years, and so you'll get an opportunity to see them and talk to them, and they'll be there enjoying the day too. I hope most of the time the speakers bring their kids out too.
Oh, cool.
Which is a great opportunity for them to really engage with their family as well. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to do that, but just to see them as people, not these crazy celebrities that are big names in our world, but just to see them and just to know, wow, they're regular dads too. Yep. It's pretty awesome.
That's honestly a good majority of what our podcast is just meeting up with dads, hanging out and talking about life, because it's just to demystify a little bit of it. Just like, oh, hey, does your kid also not sleep at night? Because mine doesn't either.
Right. Well, so. You know, what's funny is, and what we've learned over 21 years of doing this is that there are a lot of communities and a lot of opportunities for moms to connect. And there just aren't that many for dads to connect.
Really aren't.
We're busy. We think about, taking care of our family. We think about doing our jobs, and we don't think about community as much. And so sometimes people get that through their church or through a local club that they're a part of or whatever. But that's why we wanted to create the chapter program is one single place where all kids get together is at the schools. Yeah. And so that's why we do the chapter program as well, is to try to connect dads at the schools and help them remember that, hey, your kid's success at school depends heavily on the parents being involved.
Yeah.
And you are one of those parents. I know a lot of dads,
Yeah.
a lot of dads think, mom's going to take care of it, or mom will clue me in and let me know about what's going on at school, and then I'm plugged in, I'm engaged. But that's what we know is that's not really being engaged. And so the chapter program allows them to do that and meet other dads in the community that are going through, like you said, going through some of the same things that they're going through in the same neighborhoods.
Yep.
Yeah, I see that there's a chapter in Franklin Road Academy, and Brandon Albright is the team captain.
Yeah, that's correct. Then they've been around for, gosh, I want to say 7 or 8 years. They've had a chapter there for a long time.
That's cool. No, I mean, so this podcast started because my third kid and Justin's firstborn are about 5 days apart. And Justin, as he was getting a father, was like, so where do you find community? Like, how do you just talk to people who are like, what did I just get myself into?
Right.
And I'm glad you guys do what you do, because dads need to be aware of the fact that their input, their voice matters, and people want it. Like your wife, your school community, everyone, like, they want you to be there and they want you to care. And sadly, a lot of the standards have been set. It's like, man, he'll figure it out later. And it's like, no, there's more for you here than you think.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we try to explain to schools. It's been for a long time. It's been they've just accepted the fact that moms are going to take care of it. And even though they try to communicate to both parents, and they reach out, they say, they use language like, hey, parents, we need you to come to but the guys, for whatever reason, we've kind of tuned that out at this point.
Yep.
And so what we're trying to get schools to do is recognize that if you want dad's attention, if you want father figures' attention, you have to create a space for them, particularly for them, because they just don't get it. They don't get fired up about going to PTA meetings.
Nope.
They don't get fired up about, going to educational things. They get fired up about going to sporting events. And then any kind of special event that's happening, maybe a play or a musical concert and stuff like that. So if you want them to be involved with their kids' education, you have to particularly call them out and give them a space. And that's what the chapter program is really about, is about giving dads a space to be with other dads, to build a relationship with their kid and build a relationship with their kid's school, so that when you go to them and say, hey, we need some help with this, they're like, oh, school is not this alien place where I don't even know the address that my kid goes to every day.
Yeah.
It's this place where I've gone to build a relationship, a stronger relationship with my kid. Yeah. And so that's what we've been trying to do for the last 21 years. And I'm excited that we're partnering with the state of Tennessee now to actually put 2 people in that area specifically to grow the chapter program in the area. So
that's cool.
We're excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can more schools become chapters, and how do people join?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, we have over 313 chapters here in Florida. We have almost, I can't remember exactly how many in Texas, but we only have 23 currently in Tennessee, in the whole state of Tennessee. Yeah. And so that was one of the reasons why, partnering with the state, partnering with the education department to say, hey, look, we can grow this and we can help you get more dads engaged with your kids at school. Is that something you want? And they were like, are you kidding me? Yes, absolutely. And so, we've been able to partner with the state and get some funding to help us. And that's one of the reasons why we're able to do this event is because of that, some of that state funding. And now we're able to put two people on the ground in Tennessee, so that we can let as many chapters and as many schools know about the chapter program as possible. Yeah. And so our goal is to grow it tremendously. But yeah, every school can have a chapter. There's no prerequisite. You don't have to. All you have to do is register, and we make it so easy for you to know what to do. We provide an online dashboard so you can schedule your meetings and communicate to all your members. We provide all the curriculum. And so a meeting is awesome. It looks like this. Dad and kids shows up to school. They have breakfast together. And then they do what's called a pride moment, where the dad takes a minute to tell the kids why they're proud of them.
Oh, cool.
And then they can have the opportunity to actually stand up and tell the group why they're proud of them. So it really gives that that emotional bond that needs to happen between dads and kids, and that it really sets that foundation for the social and emotional learning that's about to happen through the character content that we provide too.
Yeah.
So we provide this character curriculum. They watch a video together. It talks about a specific character lesson. And then we provide questions for dads to ask the kids and questions for kids to ask the dad. So we create this dialogue between the dads and the kids about things that we want to talk about, right? We want to talk to our kids about patience, but when do we do that?
Yeah.
When they're not being patient and I'm angry now.
And that's normally not the time whenever
Right.
someone's mad about something, like, you need to not be mad. Well, that doesn't help the situation.
Right.
That doesn't make it better.
So we try to create these moments, right, on the chapter through the chapter program every month for dads to connect with their kids.
Cool.
And to instill these values that we all want our kids to have.
Yeah.
And then you end the meeting with this activity that you guys do together. And then we send you home with some things to kind of think about for the month, more questions to ask, more activities to do. And again, it does two things. It builds the relationship with the kids, and it builds the dads' relationships with the dads in the community. And I guess the third thing it does is gets dads more familiar with their kids' school too.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Whenever I go to like a PTO meeting or anything like that, I am 100% of the time the only male in the room.
That is not uncommon.
Because since I'm a stay-at-home parent, it's kind of what my wife and I have agreed to. Like, my wife works full-time and I have a supportive family of 5. That's a lot of mental stress that comes with it.
Yep.
I'm the one with...
Devin, you are a unicorn.
I'm the unicorn.
You're exactly, yes. You are the unicorn.
Yes, but I'm the one who has the mental space to go to a PTO meeting or something like that. And I show up and I'm like, I am the only man in the room, besides the other male teacher in the room. And I'm not going to act like it wouldn't be nice to see other men in there.
Yeah. So. No, that is the norm. If there is one, if there is one available, if there is a dad that is engaged, 9 times out of 10, he's one of maybe 2, 3 at most.
Yep.
It is very rare to go to a PTA meeting or any school meeting really and see more than a handful of dads there. That's why when you see them, you see it every once in a while. It pops up on the news like, oh, look what this group of dads did. And and moms are sitting around like, what the heck, man? We've been doing this for years.
Yeah, right.
And it's a testament to how needed it is and how special it is when it does happen. Mm-hmm. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it part of the normal everyday, situation. It's like, does that mean we might not get as much media attention in the future? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's okay.
Yeah. We do a weekly dad walk in which we just like meet up at a local park and just walk around with dads. And it's like people are like, wait, is that like a gaggle of dads? Is that like 5? Like, like what is going, like the reactions we get are always very funny.
Yeah, we get moms and we get grandmas always stopping us and just saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's literally just walking a kid in a stroller. It's not, it's not anything that's, how much intentionality being a father takes is something that I feel like I have to remind myself every hour of the day.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, I see that there's a lot of resources on your website, a lot of articles about being a father to your son and being a father to your daughter. Tell us a little bit more about that. Yeah,
it is. It's designed to be a resource for dads, allprodad.com. All the different and there's activities on there. There's dad jokes on there. There's scavenger hunts. I mean, there's all these different types of things that can help you. Because for me, my dad was around, but my mom and my dad divorced when I was really little. So I was trekking it. I was doing the trek, an hour or so in between them. Every other weekend, I was going to see my dad. And it's really hard, like for him to build a relationship with me when that's happening. But also, his dad wasn't super engaging either. Yeah. And so there's a lot of dads out there that didn't have a dad at all. Yeah. And so they just don't know how to do it. They want to do it. And what we tell them is like the intentionality you were talking about just a few minutes ago. That is what it has to be. But if you don't know what to do, it makes that intentionality feel like a mountain you have to climb. It does. And allprodad.com is really like type in something you want to read about or want to learn about. And you could probably find a resource there about connecting with your daughter or your sons or your teenagers and what they're going through it right now. And just gives you some tips and tricks. And that's what the play of the day is all about. You can sign up and subscribe to be a play of the day member. And you'll get one of those articles delivered to you 5 days a week. It's usually about a 1 to 2 minute read. It's really quick.
Yeah.
You can get those obviously through our social as well. You can get those clickable articles through our social, All Pro Dad, on Instagram. So you can find it there as well.
Yeah, because I mean, I think, I'll use you as the example, Justin, of like you became a dad and you were very much like, so where are my resources? How do I learn about this?
Right.
What book do I read to learn? Because I want to be good at this.
Right.
I don't want to mess this up.
Hospitals send you home with this new thing with no owners. Like, where's my owner's manual?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always love to talk about like the first drive home with your kid. And it's literally like, doesn't matter what time of day it is. Everyone else besides you is the worst driver that's ever existed in the entire world.
Yeah, and you drive extremely slow and you're so cautious. Everybody else is just a horrible driver. And you just are making sure that your little baby is safe.
Every speed bump is like the worst decision of your life.
Right. Like, you're finding the route without any traffic. Like
you realize how well your city takes care of their roads once you have a newborn.
Yeah.
I'm glad to learn about your program and everything that you guys are offering, because I think we've met multiple dads who literally are just sitting there being like, so how do I just don't want to, I want to do this right. And I don't know what the resources are. And yet, sadly, a lot of people didn't have the best father example for them. And they I think a lot of people know what they don't want to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean you know what you want to become.
Sure. Yeah. And knowing where to get started. I mean, it's parenting is not like when you think about parenting a child, there's all these things that you want them to be when they grow up. Right. And you what does that look like for how do I start? What do I start? What do I do? How do I, and you take it one day at a time and you hope you're just not, you just hope you're not screwing them up.
As long as I'm aware of the trauma I'm causing, you know, that's half the battle.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think about that often. I'm like, I just lost my temper. That's gonna scar him for life. I know it is.
Yeah. Yep. That's gonna be the one thing in 20 years from now. They're like, do you remember when you yelled at me because I didn't put my left shoe on? And you're like, yeah. Do you remember how I asked you 20 times to put on your left shoe?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Fortunately, they won't remember that part.
Probably not.
Yeah, I always think of the song by Corey Asbury, "These Are the Days," where it says, hospital to home was a 4-minute drive. The baby on board made it 35.
That's very true.
Sounds about right.
Or even your wife being wheeled out of the hospital and like giving death eyes to the person wheeling them out, because you're like, do I trust you with my wife who just gave birth and has a newborn in their arms? Like, are you going to treat her right? Are you going to everything? I didn't think I was that protective of a person until I had kids.
Well, I was telling you right before we started about my son's heart condition, and the nurses turned to me. They're taking my son away because he's got to go have these procedures done, and then they're taking my wife away. They're like, "Do you want to go with your wife or your son?" And I'm just like, "What? What? Are you serious?" Like,
are you serious right now?
I looked at my wife and I was like, "It's you, babe. It's all you."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "No, go with our son. What's wrong with you?"
And I'm like, I don't know. I love both of you. Yeah, those are like the moments of parenting reality. That whenever my second child had seizures, they did a spinal tap on her. And so we were asked to be out of the room so they could do a spinal tap. And my wife and I are just sitting there staring at each other like, this is not how we expected this night to go.
Right.
I love you. You love me. We love this kid. How do we keep our calm? Because this is not how we thought this night would go 100%.
It's crazy.
It is. How long have you been with All Pro Dad, or how did you get associated with them?
Yeah, so I've been with All Pro Dad for 3 years, but I've known about All Pro Dad for 8 years. So I worked for a company for 13 years, helping schools raise funds through a fitness and character program, and through that, you really learn how to use a microphone and entertain a crowd. And so another one of my buddies owned a company that did that, hosted events for the Super Bowl and the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. And one of his events he did every year was one of the events like we're doing in Nashville, one of the All Pro Dad experiences. And he called me up and said, at this point we didn't work together anymore. And he was like, "Hey, I need somebody to help me host. Would you be willing to host?" And so I was like, "Yeah, sure. Absolutely." So I came to Tampa, and I was just like, what is this? I mean, this is I see all these dads and kids, and I'm like tearing up, like
Yeah.
watching all these dads and kids have so much fun together.
Yeah.
And watching these kids' faces just be like, just lit up with joy, and dads just laughing and being goofy and not being
Yeah.
afraid to, one of the stations, one of the most talked about stations is the tickle tackle station, where dads and kids get about 15 yards apart from each other.
Yeah.
And the kids run at dad full speed and tackle him. And then their responsibility is just to tickle him until he can't handle it anymore.
That's awesome.
And so it's just a super fun experience for the dads and the kids. But yeah, I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And so that's how I learned about All Pro Dad. And then 8 years later, the founder of Family First and All Pro Dad came to the president of the company that I worked for and said, I really need somebody in Tampa to help me think about scaling the program across the nation. We want to be in 10,000 schools in the next 10 to 15 years, and I need somebody to help me think through that. And I was the one that he tapped and said. And so I started walking through it with Mark and just asking him questions and finding out about the chapter program and learning about what's been going on the past 7 or 8 years with it. And as we made plans and talked about it, I really fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And it was just how it was meant to be, because about halfway through that process, Mark said to me, I think I want you to be the one to run this. And I said, well, that's good, because I think I want to be the one to run this.
Because I was hoping you would ask me
And
that.
so he went to my boss and said, hey, we really love Jason and want him to be a part of what we do. And the company that I worked for is just so unbelievably gracious. And they were like, if you think this is what, you're supposed to do, then you should do it. Yeah. And, we hate to have you go, but if this is where you feel like you need to be, then you need to go do it. And so I did. And so it's been a really fun 3 years of us kind of refining the program, trying to figure out how we can scale it over the next, 10 years or so. And it's been awesome to work with these folks that just love the idea of helping dads and moms grow in their relationship with their kids. And it's been awesome.
It's also got to be kind of fun that the content your company produces helps you
personally
on a day-to-day life. Like
exactly.
They're like, actually, I think our next email needs to deal more about this. It's not because I had a fight with my kid about that this morning. That's a different subject.
Never mind how I came across this idea.
But I don't know who is researching this, but I think we should have our researchers research this more. If you guys
absolutely. I always tell people, like, look, just because I work for All Pro Dad doesn't mean I'm always one.
Not so much. We had a guy on who does there's Nashville Parent Magazine, and he's the editor for it. And he was like, you spend all day writing articles, reviewing articles about how you should treat your kid, and you do the exact opposite the second you open up the door.
I know. Yeah. It's emotions are funny like that, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And there's lots of room to be better, for better and worse.
Yeah. So Jason, what all can the kids do on the field, and what all activities are happening that day?
Yeah, so they'll be able to obviously run around the field, and there's freedom in it. There you can run around the field and play and bring your football and toss it around. There's also opportunities to do some fun drills. We're going to be able to kick field goals, do some ladder drills, 40-yard dash. Passing drills, things like that. But there's also a station where dad's going to get a chance to read to their kids.
Oh, cool.
There's also a station where they're going to make some plans to do some other fun events outside of after this event. So we really try to build something around the spectrum and give them tips and tricks to hear from other dads as well. As you mentioned, the general manager will be there. Ryan Suckup will be there, and they'll be sharing some of their practical father tips as well. But and they'll get resources the day of. They'll get a goodie bag with resources in it, with some books in there that they can read to their kids at home too. So really, we want it to be a full-on experience of being able to create memories, but also give you tools and resources to take home and new ideas to continue that experience when you go home.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff like this is just conversation starters, and just like hopefully just letting you know, like, hey, you're a dad, you should be thinking about this stuff, and it's okay to think about this stuff. And here's some resources once you start thinking about this stuff.
Absolutely.
So, Jason, how we end our episodes is we ask every dad the same 5 questions, just because it's fun. Justin, whenever you're ready.
Yes. First question: what were your kids' backup names?
We have 2. We have almost an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old. Okay, yes, this is a good story actually.
Yes.
Me and my wife went back and forth with names. So this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but me and my roommates in college liked the show Dawson's Creek. Okay, we liked it.
You might have dated yourself a little bit.
Yes, I have dated myself. And I loved the name Joey for a girl. And my wife's sentiment about that was over my dead body.
So Joey's not one of your kids' names.
So we ended up throwing out a couple, but we landed on Piper. And so we have a Piper. Hawkins is our son's name. And there's really no story. I had a friend in high school. His name was Josh Hawkins. And I always liked his last name. And I thought that would be a really cool first name.
Yeah.
Great nickname in the future for him.
The Hawk.
And now he's taken mixed martial arts, and they call him Hawk, and he loves it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's funny. Next question: do you have a favorite TV dad?
Oh my gosh, what a good question. Oh man, I loved Carl Winslow. He was always I really
Family
loved
Matters,
Carl.
right?
Yes. He's the one that pops to my mind first.
Yes.
Gosh, what's another? Oh, This Is Us.
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Like that show was the first 2 years of that show, I was like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah. Why am I torturing myself every Thursday at 7?
Yeah, man, I loved the first 2 seasons of This Is Us. That was so emotional.
It would be like if it was a 45-minute episode, it'd be like minute 35. And like, I haven't cried yet. What happens in the next 10 minutes? Because something's gonna like hit me in the next 10 minutes. So what is it?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Next question: least favorite kids show or movie?
My kids don't actually like watching a lot of shows, and for me, for us, it's been great. I'm trying to think if there's something that when they turn it on, I mean, they watch some stuff on YouTube. They like Mark Rober a lot. He's kind of an engineer guy, builds these things he has his own YouTube channel. So I've probably seen one too many Mark Rober videos. That's the thing that I think they ask to watch the most, which I'm like, I can't really complain because they're learning, they're learning from this guy that's an amazing engineer. So, and plus he made he had some stuff stolen off his porch during COVID too. So he started making like these like glitter bombs and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah. Yes.
Do you have, next question, do you have, is there any like musician or kids music that your kids listen to where like, please stop listening to this song? Because you can also do that category also.
Yeah, no, they don't listen to,
You're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I know. We listen to a lot of music ourselves here at the house. We have music going on all the time, and they don't really get to choose.
If they had a choice, then it'd be different.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my wife just throw on what we're feeling at the time, and it just plays.
And they're okay with it.
Yeah, well, they don't have a choice. I guess they grew up without a choice, so I guess they've kind of accepted that this is my reality.
I'm going to listen to this song for the 10th time, regardless if I want to or not. Yeah. Next question. Do you have a favorite kids toy, or like a toy you'd play with your kids, or like an activity that you thought was really fun to do with them? Yeah,
I mean, we do. We get out and play sports a lot. We throw the football, we hit the baseball. Even my 12-year-old girl, she just loves to do it. And they really love doing that. Soccer, baseball, football. But as far as a toy goes, me and my son love to build things. We love to build things, which is where Hot Wheels like tracks come into play. We play a lot of Hot Wheels at our house. And my daughter loves to. We've bought some things for them to build. Like, so Legos is a big deal at our house. Believe it or not, we've got a big old set of the old timey Lincoln logs. You remember
those
Lincoln
are hard
logs?
to find now.
Yeah. So we bought my son saw those in some type of catalog, and he was like, "I want that," and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, my mom has Lincoln Logs at her house.
It's probably in a Tupperware somewhere in a
Oh,
garage.
yeah, for sure.
It's in a storage attic somewhere. Clear off the spiders. It'll be a great time.
Yeah.
All right. The fifth and final question. What moment of your kid's life are you most excited to be a part of?
Oh, man. I don't know if excited or terrified to be a part of my daughter's wedding is like, she's 12 and she's already taller than her mother. So it's starting to get easier to see. Yeah, my wife's 5'5" and she's already 5'7.5".
What?
Yeah.
Are you a tall person?
I'm not. I'm 5'11", but my dad was 6'3". My grandfather was 6'1", so she gets it from my side of the family.
Okay.
I got at the short end of the stick, literally. But yeah, she's already 5'7", 5'8", and I just like I just can't think about it because I'm just like, no, not in your throat. Like I can't even. Right, but she thinks boys are gross still, so that's great.
That's good. Yeah.
And my son, I just, I think about my son growing up and being some kind of leader. I try not to put that on him, like a pressure on him, like, you know what I mean, in my mind. But I can't wait to see him just take ownership of something someday, whether that's a family, a job, a business. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to be. But I dream about that day when I sit back and he's like, "Dad, I got this."
Yeah.
And I don't, almost like I don't need you anymore. I want you, but I don't necessarily need you anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of dream about that sometimes for him. And I think that I think sometimes I have to check myself because I don't want to put too much pressure on him to rise to that moment. But at the same time, I want to prepare him for that moment.
Yeah.
I heard somebody said something the other day is that, and I don't know how true this is, but it just struck me with the way that they said it. They said, the moment your little boy becomes a man is when they realize you're not going to come and save them. And I was like, man, that happens to some people really, really early in their life. And then some people, it never happens to them.
Yeah.
And so like, I think about that for my son is like, man, I always want to be there for him. I can't wait for the moment when he wants me, but he doesn't need me necessarily to come save him anymore.
Yeah. This is normally we give a chance for like, what's the Instagram for All Pro Dad? Is it just,
it's just at All Pro Dad. Yep.
Sweet. But yeah, so follow you guys on Instagram. Do you guys do like a daily email? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, we do all kinds of posts. Sometimes we do interviews with folks. Sometimes we repost things from people that post things for the chapter program.
Yeah.
We do an article every day for 5 days, Monday through Friday. So, and at the end of the week, we'll post kind of the recap of all the articles we put out that week. You can get those through email too. You can subscribe at allprodad.com. You can be a Play of the Day subscriber. Yeah. And just, you can find out about the chapter program at allprodad.com/chapters.
Cool.
And so you can go to that page and find out if there's a chapter in your area, or you can start your own. And so and what's great about the chapter program is because we have so much support. We are a nonprofit, but we have a lot of generous donors out there, and we're always looking for more, obviously, but we can subsidize the cost of the chapter program. We provide all the tools and resources you need to make this program super turnkey. Yeah. You don't have to be a public speaker. You literally just have the willingness to be like, I'm going to build a community of dads. I want to be the catalyst in our kids' school. And we will provide everything you need to get it started and literally tell you exactly what you need to do to make it happen. Yeah. And it's only $100 for the whole year. So super, super affordable. Yeah. And in fact, most of the time schools are like $100 like per person. I'm like, no,
no, total
per family. No, per piece of curriculum. Cause we provide 10 curriculums. So it's $1,000. I'm like, no,
it's literally
it's $100. Cool. That's it for the entire year. And unlimited number of families, again, a part of it for your chapter. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, as a reminder to anyone listening, the All Pro Dad Experience is in Nashville on November 4th at Nissan Stadium from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. And if you use the code NASHVILLEDADS, it will give you $15 off. So it is a very affordable program to go to. So, Jason, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks,
Thank
Appreciate you.
Thanks again for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Nashville Dads and to subscribe to us on Apple and Spotify podcast. We record at New Light Podcast Studio and episodes are produced by me, Devin.